Hi there. My name's Corinne McKay, and I am a French interpreter in Boulder, Colorado, in the Rocky Mountains of the United States. And I'm going to give you a short overview from the newcomer perspective of how the interpreting market works where I live. So, this is with the caveat that I've been a freelancer since 2002, but I did only translation until 2019. At that point, I passed the Colorado State Court Interpreter exam, and then I spent the 2020-2021 school year doing a master's in conference interpreting at Glendon College, which is a program through York University in Toronto, Canada. So although I have about almost 20 years experience as a freelancer, I'm a very new conference interpreter, but I'll give you some of what I've observed so far in the market. I do think that in the US market, having a master's in conference interpreting, especially from a program that is in the IEC directory, makes a difference. I think on the US market, there are a lot of self taught interpreters. And so if you have the opportunity to do a master's in conference interpreting, which I know is tough, I do think that it is a big leg up in the market. For myself personally, there were only four programs that meet the IEC standards in North America, two in the US and two in Canada, and none of them are anywhere near where I live. But those were the only ones I had to choose from. So I did the Glendon program during the year that it was online. So what I've been doing since then is that I went to the directory of the American Translators Association. I went into the companies directory and I clicked the tick box for all the companies that say that they do simultaneous interpreting. There is not an option to pick conference interpreting, but this is the companies that say they do simultaneous interpreting. Then I go to their websites and I fill out their applications or apply however they say to apply. And inevitably, no one responds. I think I have yet to get a response to an application that I submitted on an agency's website. But it's not all bad news at all. Because what I do is I try to apply to 1 to 2 agencies per day. And then when I've applied to 30, I cycle back and start emailing the agencies that are at the top of the list. So it's between 2 and 4 weeks later, I send an email just to their general email address, which I would think no one will respond again. But when I email them and say, I'm a French conference interpreter. I have court certification and I have an MCI from the Glendon program. I would say I get a response rate of about 70% to those emails that they at least email me and say, thanks, and we'll keep your information on file. And so far, I've gotten a lot of interest from those follow up emails. I log all of that in an Excel spreadsheet so that I can see who's responded and who hasn't. And my plan is to continue following up about every 2 weeks until I hear something from all of those agencies. Another tip that I will give is I think in the US market, if court certification is available for your language, I think that that is also an asset because, to be honest, the largest response I've gotten is to do non-court legal work. So, for example, to do deposition interpreting, citizenship immigration interview interpreting, which I have found pays about on par with conference work. And is perhaps an easier foot in the door than pure conference interpreting if you have the opportunity to get your court certification and a conference interpreting degree. So from the very beginner perspective, there's just a few thoughts on how you might enter the US market as a newcomer. Thanks and best of luck to everyone.